Whenever you're ready.
So hi everybody, my name is Sonia Chan, and I'm a senior at Leadership Public School, going to be a freshman in college at Chabot next year, following fall. And I'm here to speak to you all about the negative effects about arranged marriage and how it affects women in the entire world. Before I get further into my presentation, I wanted to go over a few broad terms that we will run into. Oh, before that, my question is, how do arranged marriages negatively affect women around the world? And my thesis is, in order to prevent the negative effects of arranged marriages, such as beating dowries and bride burnings, the history of arranged marriages should be taught at an early age in school. So the terms to define are a matchmaker, which is a family friend or a distant relative who goes between families to arrange a marriage. Second is class system, which is it divides the rich, middle class, and the poor. And arranged marriage is a marriage that is established before a lengthy relationship. So what exactly is an arranged marriage? The practice of arranged marriage has been a part of the different minority cultures for a very long time, and its purpose being is to unite the upper class families. The matchmaker is usually a family friend or distant relatives who arranges the marriage. In most cultures, a variety of women believe arranged marriage to be the happiest moments of their life. And family makes it seem like they're finding their soulmate. But in reality, it's the opposite. The meaning of a formal definition of arranged marriage is basically the bridegroom's parents arranges the marriage for the bride and the groom. So for the fathers, when they first find out that their wives are pregnant, they realize that they want a girl, because girls, when it comes down to them getting married, they don't want to be a burden of paying a large dowry amount and paying so much gold to the other families in it. So the fathers decide to get their younger children married at a younger age so they don't have to worry about their expenses when they grow older. So depending on how Americanized the families of the groom is, the bride's parents would have to pay a dowry. There's a variety of downfalls that leads to arranged marriage, but one of the many effects that are common is a dowry. And a dowry is the groom's family that asks for. A dowry is money that the groom's family asks from the bride's family for their specific needs. Dowry is illegal. Although it is illegal, people still have their secretive ways of finding their way into it. For example, instead of using the term dowry, they sugarcoat the word by saying wedding gifts. So they deceive the public eye by letting them hear what they want to hear instead of telling them the truth. Disadvantages of arranged marriage. So many fathers, like I said, when it comes for their wives to being pregnant, they wish they didn't have a baby girl, because when it comes down to it, getting married, the huge charge of the wedding and the dowry payments will be his biggest concern. Fathers also know that if the payments aren't made on time, the husband of the daughter will treat him very poorly. Effects of paying a dowry lead to permanent brain damage, which would take years of recovery. The second disadvantage to arranged marriages is severe injuries that would be caused by not paying the full amount of dowry. Consequently, as time went by, dowry became a right for the brides to fulfill orders for the groom's request in order for the arranged marriage to go as properly. If the parents of the brides do not pay the rest of the dowry on the due date they were required to, the bride is the one to suffer the horrible consequences, as shown right there. And these homicide type of situations occur because the crazy request of the money being demanded and the land that the groom's family asked for, while the bride struggled to pay off everything, leading the bride to go through abuse or even murder from the groom's side of the family. My last disadvantage of reasoning towards arranged marriage leads to the act of bride burning. A girl who would rather be mocked instead of living in her relative's home is a girl named Kusum. Kusum's parents demanded her to stay in the house filled with nothing but abuse from her husband's side of the family, just so they wouldn't be humiliated upon society. So Kusum went to desperate measures to get herself out of the situation by setting herself on fire because she felt helpless of getting as far away as she could from her relatives and her newly husband. So a solution, the way to resolve this problem, there are multiple ways on stopping the act of arranged marriages. But what would be more efficient is if the younger generation were taught the history of arranged marriages at a young age. For example, an elementary school is a perfect way for infants to grow academic knowledge about arranged marriages, so that little females around the world would not be pressured to be married. By informing he, she, whichever is powerful in the school, either a principal or some sort, the possibility of changing the disadvantage in an arranged marriage would be possible. This is so excited, which did not show. Okay, thank you everyone. Is there any questions? Yeah.
Do you think that arranged marriage increase divorces or decrease them?
Wait, what was that?
In arranged marriage, do you think that arranged marriage decreases divorces or increases them?
I think in arranged marriage, there are some traditions that do it actually right, so that the groom and the upcoming wife, so they would get a closer relationship. So the right way would be for the bride and groom to communicate and know more about each other instead of rushing into the marriage. And some relationships, they just fall right into the marriage, and all they focus about is the dowry. So I would say that it probably decreases. Yes.
What are the main minorities that do arranged marriage?
What was it?
What are the main minorities that do arranged marriage?
The ideal of arranged marriage was by all of India, no matter what economic status one was in. Both Indians and Muslim religions are similar in their traditional ways. They both relate by having their daughters married at a young age. Yes.
In what countries is dowry illegal? Can you give an example of a law or something that is passed that shows this?
Yeah. Actually, in India, there was a law that went through that says that dowry is illegal. But the fact is that everybody actually ignores that law. They find their secretive ways to going and pass by that law and to getting an arranged marriage.